Hi, welcome back to Faye In Stories. 3 days, 5-star hotel, free meals, loud music, smiling leaders. They called it personal growth. I call it obedience training, carefully wrapped in motivation. From the first hour, I realized I wasn't in a class. I was in a test I didn't know I was taking. Not a knowledge test, a compliance test. Will you stand when we say stand? Will you shout yes when we say yes? Will you thank us for the rewards you earned yourself? Stay with me. If any of this feels familiar, this episode is for you. Today we're diving into a world where motivation feels real, but control is the real product. It's not a cult. At least not the kind you think. It's not just this one company. I've seen the same mechanics in corporate sales rallies, church retreats, even political campaigns. The names change, but the blueprint doesn't. The first lesson was visual. A giant stage, harsh lights, pumped-in music, camera cranes catching applause. The screen told us when to laugh, when to clap, when to cry. It was emotional choreography. Nothing illegal, nothing even offensive. But every beat had the same destination. Lower your guard. When your mood is engineered, your judgment goes off duty. And then ideas walk in without knocking. The weirdest part? You feel grateful for the break from thinking. That's not an accident. That's design.
So the room was the teacher.
Exactly. The room taught us to respond on cue. It's not about content yet, it's about rhythm. Give the crowd a rhythm and they'll supply the meaning. And once meaning arrives, it feels like it came from you. Stand up if you agree. High five 3 people. Say yes if you're committed. None of those actions by themselves matter. That's the point. They are micro-commitments. Harmless repetitions that build a habit of assent. Once your mouth learns to say yes on command, your mind will look for reasons to agree later, even when it's uncomfortable. That is momentum. And momentum is a substitute teacher for conviction. Small yeses rent space to bigger yeses. By the time money shows up, your voice already moved in.
And if you refuse, you look negative.
Right. The fear of being the only one sitting is the leash. Obedience rarely feels like obedience when it travels with community. Most people aren't afraid of being wrong. They're afraid of being alone. The rewards were nice. Hotel, meals, a leaders-only lounge. But the gratitude was misdirected. People were told to thank the system. Why? We earn those with our work and sales. If I cross a finish line after running 26 miles, do I thank the road for existing? That's the trick. Move gratitude from self-recognition to system dependence. Once you believe your wins come from someone else's permission, you will keep asking for permission to win. Here's the accounting no one quoted on stage. That free trip is paid with margin from your sales, converted into points, redeemed as applause. If you must say thank you, say it to your calendar and your customers. Otherwise, you're paying the bill and tipping the waiter for handing it to you.
So you stop crediting effort and start crediting hierarchy.
Exactly. Gratitude becomes a leash with a ribbon. At the end of every session, they asked, "What did you learn today?" Hands shot up. I learned to believe. I learned to push harder. I learned to trust the plan. Listen carefully. Those are not lessons. They are slogans. A lesson gives you skill. A slogan gives you alignment. But alignment is sold as growth. It feels like progress because you're speaking the language. It sounds like education. It functions like conditioning. There was no segment on product design, market fit, pricing pressure, legal risk, or attribution. But there were many on energy, mindset, and gratitude. If a school never teaches technique, it's not a school, it's a choir. I saw doctors, lawyers, engineers, sharp, disciplined people. Intelligence doesn't inoculate you against engineered meaning. When you're tired of being useful but invisible, a stage that promises recognition feels like oxygen. When your career is precise but lonely, a crowd that chants your name feels like home. And when life is stable but small, a plan that says you were chosen feels like destiny. Smart people don't fall for stupidity. They fall for belonging. Add sunk cost to belonging and you have a fortress. Every ticket you bought becomes proof you should buy the next one. Every applause you received becomes proof you should earn the next. Meanwhile, doubt is rebranded as negativity. Silence is rebranded as low energy. Words get laundered before your thoughts notice. Obvious tests are easy to pass. Hidden tests are the curriculum. Will you rearrange your schedule for sudden meetings? Will you clap longer when the energy dips? Will you buy tickets you can't afford to show commitment? Will you repeat the catchphrase even when you feel silly? None of that builds skill. It builds compliance. And here's the advanced version. Will you delay your own exit for the good of the team? Will you keep producing sales so the chart looks tidy for your upline? A clean dashboard is not your purpose. If leaving must be slow and invisible, the system values form over people. If your family role is used as leverage, that's not culture. That's custody. Kindness asks, how can I help? Control asks, how can I keep you?
So the test wasn't, are you good? It was, are you pliable?
Pliable people can be placed. Good people must be partnered. Guess which one a control system prefers? No robes, no chanting, no desert compound. This one wears suits and books ballrooms. Credit cards replace confession. Calendars replace curfews. Mechanically, it's simple. Isolate you from dissent with long schedules. Exhaust you with noise and love bombing. Regulate rewards so compliance looks like virtue. Rename dependency as loyalty. Rename repetition as growth. Rename obedience as gratitude. A cult is not defined by costumes. It is defined by who owns your definitions. If they define growth, they define when you're allowed to stop. In every row, there's someone like you. Clapping, just late enough to prove you still think. Smiling without surrendering. Taking notes you'll throw away later. You are not cynical. You are careful. You are testing the system back. And the system notices. It will try to charm you, then shame you, then outlast you. If that fails, it will promote you onto a stage where your silence turns into slogans. Careful people are either converted or sidelined. Refuse both. Stay kind. Stay clear. Stay busy with a life that makes these rooms optional. A small, steady craft beats a big, borrowed stage. Control is cheaper than talent. If I can manufacture loyalty, I don't have to earn trust. If I can script gratitude, I don't have to improve product. If I can keep you measuring yourself by my ladder, you'll keep climbing even when the wall is on fire. That's why some systems hate independent selling channels. Not because sales are bad, but because sales without sermons reveal what actually works. If the thing sells without a story, the story loses rent. Language is the steering wheel. Call pressure challenge. An objection becomes disloyal. Call exhaustion stretch, and rest becomes betrayal. Call luck proof, and survivorship bias becomes doctrine. Before long, your inner voice stops using your own words. You agree to things you never decided, because the vocabulary decided for you. If you ever say, I can't explain it, but it feels off, trust that sentence. That's your native language trying to come home. 3 quick diagnostics. 1. Does disagreement lower your rank, not your argument? 2. Do rewards arrive when you align, not when you improve? 3. When you succeed, do they say, we allowed it, instead of you did it? If you answered yes more than once, you're not in a school, you're in a script. Schools graduate you, scripts cast you. Add one more. If exit requires choreography, you were furniture, not family.
And if you're cast, you can be recast.
Exactly. Change the story or change the stage. You don't have to be a hero. You don't have to be a villain. Set a private date. Reclaim your calendar first. Convert obligations into deliverables. Finish what you promised once. Stop teaching. Stop recruiting. Stop applauding on cue. If someone says, don't disappear overnight, taper slowly, ask them, for whose benefit, my life, or your spreadsheet? Kind is not the same as available. Professional is not the same as obedient. Your calm boundaries will sound like rebellion to people who only understand control. That's fine. You're not required to be understood to be free. If you need a sentence, try this. I'm grateful for the season we worked together. My focus has shifted, so I'm simplifying. I'll complete X by date. After that, I won't be available for Y. Thank you for understanding. Short, clear, not a debate. I'm keeping discipline, the part that wakes me up on time. I'm keeping optimism, the part that believes effort matters. I'm keeping community, the part that helps without a scoreboard. I'm leaving the staged urgency, the weaponized gratitude, the applause for hire. I'm leaving the idea that loyalty means ignoring my own data. I'm leaving the rooms where questions are welcome until they cost somebody a bonus. If a thing is truly good, it survives my quiet exit. If you were in that ballroom and it changed your life, I'm not your enemy. Maybe it gave you courage to quit a job, to call your mother, to forgive yourself. Keep that part, but guard it. Because anything that beautiful deserves a safer container than obedience. Meaning should make you independent, not indentured. Generosity that requires choreography is theater, not virtue. If you sat there and felt the quiet itch, the something's wrong, but I can't name it. You are not broken. You are intact. Intact people don't always fit seamless systems. We're not supposed to. Make something with that intactness. Build work that thanks you back. Find rooms where the applause is optional and the learning is real. If you need a sign, take this one. You're allowed to leave quietly. If you believe you're free, who taught you that picture of freedom? If you work hard, who decided the scoreboard? If your gratitude points upward, where does your dignity point? If your dream needs everyone to agree with it, who actually owns it? And if a system asks for your voice, but only when it sings their song, is silence disloyal or honest? I don't have your answers. I just want your answers to be yours.